The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Detroit.
Stay tuned for Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. 2 years ago, the captain carried the Red Wings to the playoffs on the last day of the season. Last year, the Wings punched a ticket with 3 games left in the season. Tonight, Detroit can clinch a spot in that same Game 80 of this season. They've been here before. Will history repeat itself? Henrik Zetterberg leads this team in many more ways than just points, but just 1 goal in 17 points. His past 27 games is unlike him, but his new line mates tonight may kickstart him. Jimmy Howard returns. It's his net now to lead the Wings to the playoffs. And tonight, Howard and the Wings play their last home game of this regular season. Another sellout crowd on hand as the Carolina Hurricanes, not playing for playoffs, but pride, are in town. Hello again, everyone. Ken Daniels alongside Mickey Redmond. Well, we've seen teams both East and West leave some costly points on the table lately. LA last night, and the Ottawa Senators, 2 costly points to Toronto lost on consecutive weekends, or they'd be tied with Detroit right now.
And the Red Wings have done the same. They have won against Arizona. They lost to San Jose. They've given up points that they shouldn't. However, they do not need to overestimate or underestimate this team tonight, Carolina, because their records are pretty good since the start of the year as well. But there's a look at where we stand tonight. There are a million scenarios yet to be played out. We can catch Boston. Ottawa can catch us. We can catch Pittsburgh. They can fall back. There's a whole lot of scenarios. We'll get to them all as we get the night underway. Here's what we do know. With a win tonight for the Red Wings, in any fashion, the Red Wings, with a loss in regulation by Ottawa, would be in the playoff because they can't catch them and have the advantage on the ROW. There's the remaining schedules. Pittsburgh is in Ottawa tonight. Pittsburgh and Detroit, about 3 weeks ago, were 15 points ahead of Ottawa. They've closed the gap. And boy, what a race to the finish we've got.
It's amazing. 4 days left in the regular season, and not a single matchup is decided east nor in the west. Well, for the first time since game 45 of this season, Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsyuk will start on the same line, and Henrik could use some help, and so could Pavel.
Well, Datsyuk was an iffy, but he's going to go. He's got a bad leg, but they need him in the lineup. And, of course, Mike Babcock, when he gets into a jam, usually gets these 2 together. What that means on the other side is Riley Sheahan will jump up to the second center position with Nyquist and Tatar on his wing. That's a change because Tatar's been with Datsyuk. So Zetterberg and Datsyuk, the European magic they hope with their help, will fill in. And down in the bottom right, Landon Ferraro, 27 goals in Grand Rapids. Big body, can skate. They're looking for some energy from this kid here tonight.
So it's the Wings and Hurricanes' first of 2 meetings this final week of the regular season, with another full house on hand at the Joe.
I've been waiting all my life just for this one night to show I can do it. So let's get to it. I got the heart of a champion.
Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Ram, official truck of the Detroit Red Wings. By Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Xfinity, your home for most live sports.
We're going to make it. We know that. We believe in this group, but we know that we have to put another level of desperation out there because that's what it's going to take in the playoffs to make it through the next round. So we just have to come together and have a really good feeling about this going into the playoffs.
And the fans here at the Joe are ready for this one. Home game 41, the last of this regular season. And yep, we're in playoff mode. A week to go. Our goaltenders brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers for Carolina. It's Anton Hudobin. His first start in 3 games, 0-3-3, his past 6 starts. Jimmy Howard, his last appearance, 22 saves and 6 more in the shootout in a win Saturday at Minnesota. The Red Wings know they must raise their game. And to put these two teams in perspective, since the beginning of this year, January on, the Red Wings have earned just 1 more point than Carolina. The Hurricanes in a 4-0 hole last night to Buffalo, a bad start, but they fired 52 shots on the Sabres goal and made it a game, losing 4-3. The Red Wings start with Landon Ferraro, number 29, who's got it down low. His first appearance of the season for the Red Wings, out with Drew Miller and Luke Glendening against the Stahl brothers and Chris Terry. Eric Stahl, number 12, Jordan Stahl, number 11, and Terry, number 25. 5th round pick and a rookie. That's jammed at by Eric Stahl to the line. Terry going over to get it. Up there along with Jordan Stahl. Kronwall takes Terry into the boards. Ferraro was back. Moving in on the play is Brett Belmore. The defenseman, number 73 for Carolina, gets hit by the equally big Jonathan Ericsson. The puck came off to the near side and back to the line and out at center for Nathan Gerbe on the other end of the height scale. Carried back in here by Alexander Semin, who scored a goal last night, a rare one for Semin, just his 6th of the season. Zetterberg moved it over. Out there with Helm and Pavel Datsyuk. Helm stumbled a bit at center, but gets it in deep. Going back for it is Victor Rask, number 49 for Carolina. Fed one over to their great defenseman, Justin Falk. Falk with a pass up the middle that failed to click with Rask. Moved on by Gerbe. That's chopped away at the Red Wing blue line, and a good defensive effort by DeKaiser. Sent back in by Riley Sheahan as both teams complete changes here. Sheahan joined by Tatar and Nyquist. That's from the Hurricanes' own side of center, but they get there first and negate the icing, and it's former Red Wing number 15, Andre Nestrasil, who's up there. 7 goals and 20 points for Carolina this season after being picked up on waivers from Detroit on November 14th. He had a couple of assists in 13 games with the Red Wings, did Nestrasil. Some thought that Nestrasil may go to the wing from center, but he's back in the middle tonight for Carolina. Ryan Murphy, number 7, moved one ahead for Nestrasil at center ice. Knocked away by Zhedlitsky to Nyquist. Nyquist going after it, taken away by Nestrasil. He's good buddies with Thomas Tatar and Peter Mrazek, his former road roommate. But it's Jimmy Howard in goal for the Red Wings tonight. As Mike Babcock said, the ball's in his court. He's our veteran guy. Carolina carries back in. That's Eric Stahl going in back of the net. A wraparound try by brother Jordan. He got knocked down. Jordan missed a good part of the season. 35 games to start. Didn't return until just before New Year's. Puck goes down ice as Anderson's up there along with Stephen Weiss. Weiss turning with it. Got knocked down, and Eric Stahl will bring it ahead for Carolina. Just over 3 minutes gone here in the opening period. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox Sports Detroit. There's Semin with a good move, and he fanned on it. Never did get a shot away. DeKaiser circling the goal, hounded by Semin. It came loose, and Howard will hold on.
That's a big responsibility that Luke Glendening and his mates have got to play against the 2 Stahl brothers, but Mike Babcock decided that's what he wanted to match up, at least to start this game, because Glendening has been one of the best Red Wings every game they have played. And believe that or not, as your 4th-line guy, he's been a walk-on his whole life, including with this team, and deserved every bit of what he's got. And boy, he's scored goals, and it's a real bonus. But when you're going up against Stahl and Stahl, boy, you better be ready to play. They're 2 of the best hockey players that the National Hockey League can show.
Good work there by Landon Ferraro, who followed up the play. Then it's tapped out by Jay McClement. And from Ottawa tonight, news that Pittsburgh is in the lead over the Senators 1-0 on a rare night that Red Wing fans will be rooting for Sidney Crosby and the Penguins. That won't happen often, but Pittsburgh is in the lead 1-0 in a big game for Crosby for sure, and his team that has really floundered, losing 9 of their last 12 games, and they've scored 3 or fewer in each one. Here's Miller trying to get in. The puck's knocked off his stick, though, by Michael Jordan.
If you've just joined us, we'll tell you, Red Wing fans, that if Detroit wins tonight in any fashion, if they get 2 points, and the Ottawa Senators lose in 60 minutes, the Red Wings are in the playoffs. That's the first scenario we're looking at tonight.
Right, Ottawa has to come out of that game without a point, and the Red Wings with 2 in this one, in any fashion. Meaning overtime, shootout, or as Mick says, 60 minutes on this side too. Zetterberg makes a good play in for Helm, and he couldn't break through.
Nice defensive play.
Erickson stood up at the line, then Gerby carries ahead. A one-time Sabre and native of Oxford, Michigan, Nathan Gerby, number 14. A shot in on fault to Howard, and he'll hold that for a face-off. And as the Red Wings have struggled lately, look at the comparison between Pittsburgh and Ottawa. December 21st, the Penguins were first in the Eastern Conference with 48 points. Ottawa was 11th. Today, Pittsburgh is 6th. Ottawa 9th, sure, but look at the ground that they've made up to be within 2 and not 15.
Well, they've pretty much done the same thing to the Red Wings. They were 12 points. Pittsburgh was 15. Detroit was 12.
It was an amazing run that the Senators have been on. And the Red Wings trying to finish them off tonight with some help from the Penguins. And Pittsburgh not guaranteed a playoff spot by any stretch.
Well, they have, as you point out, they have really had some issues. They got whacked around in Philadelphia on Sunday afternoon, but that's no surprise. They never went in there. But I mean, it's the way they're losing that people are concerned about.
They're also hurting on the back end. Letang, Mata, Ehrhoff, so they got a lot of injuries, and they went for depth. A lead pass to center for Falk. Buried back in to the near side for Jeff Skinner. Skinner a shot, and it just tipped wide of the goal. Skinner on it again for Carolina. Jeff Skinner turns with it. Got those quick feet and able to work in tight quarters out there along with Nestrasil, who overskated and moved it just out of the reach of Tatars. The Red Wings are in the midst of a change. Carried back in here by Skinner. Good play by Jonathan Ericsson not to let him go. Speeding out of the zone came Glendening, and then he got knocked off stride, interfered with the line, but no call.
Call's made more times than it isn't made.
And Mickey Redmond would like to know that Chris Lee and Dan O'Rourke are the referees tonight.
You know, I got to know who I'm getting on.
You do. Chris number 28 and Dan number 9.
Well, I'll be off of them if they do it right.
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, Dan O'Rourke, too, played for Mike Babcock back in his junior days.
Oh, they get it right most of the time. I'll give you that. But
thank you. Yeah, they do.
it's about this game and some of the things that are called or not called that I have a problem with. And that's not the referees in a lot of cases. It's those folks in New York. They want it that way.
Here's Zetterberg. A save by Hudobin. Loose puck in the high slot, and the shot went off a stick and just off the high glass. Datsuk. Good move to squirt away from Patrick Dwyer. Former Western Michigan Bronco, number 39 for the Hurricanes. Moving up on that puck goes Brad Malone, number 24, nearly got it. Zetterberg put it ahead, then Malone came back on that puck. Brad Malone's uncle Greg played with the Pittsburgh Penguins for a time.
He was a good one, too.
Well, that was Brad's favorite team growing up. Moved out by Victor Rask. Back into the zone for Brad Malone. Back to pick it up is Rask. He's a good young player. 31 points as a rookie. Skinner had 63 in his rookie year. That lead pass for Chris Terry. Backhanded into Detroit territory, and Rask is up there on the forecheck.
Heads up.
Gerby waiting in front. There's a chance for him, and he nearly got buried by Shedlitsky, but Howard was there. Loose puck at center here, Nyquist. Nyquist couldn't get through, and you knew Carolina would have a better start than what they had last night. Down 2-0 to Buffalo early, 4-0 before they fought back.
Well, you're playing the team in the league that's got the least points. Haven't won very many games. I don't care who they are. You can't go down 3 and 4 to nothing.
Erickson right in back in front, and it went off the outside of the post. Great chance there, but the post. Back forward is Rask. To the corner, digging forward again. Big centerman tried to get it out. He couldn't. Gathered back in by Tatar. Looking for Nyquist. Saved by Hudobin. And cleared away by Belmont. This will be icing against Carolina. Well, let's check in at Ottawa with Pittsburgh visiting with Mickey York.
Yeah, Kenny, you mentioned that early Pittsburgh score. Here it is, just 10 seconds into the game. Sidney Crosby able to bury it to give the Pens a 1-0 lead. They have since scored again, now 2-0 Pittsburgh. So all that good Penguins karma you're sending that way tonight, paying off so far for the Wings, guys.
Anything we can do, and Detroit Red Wings, their Twitter feed today tweeted this.
Is that what that bird is? The tweet?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my God!
It's the Twitter
Really?
logo there.
That's
Mick.
it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Welcome to this year.
Yeah, the Detroit Red Wings. Who would be behind that Detroit Red Wings tweet?
Our Red Wings Twitter folks. They're followed by most, Mick. You've got to start following them. Here's Teemu Pukki.
Got enough to follow. Lumber prices in Russia.
Moving up is Quincy. Kirby got it back for Brett Belmore. Chip to the line, but not out. And it's not like Carolina was really bad last night either, as Pulkkinen brings it in and was blocked. So we say they fired 52 shots on goal and some 85 toward the net. Howard holds on to that. It's just that Anders Lindback was that good for the Buffalo Sabres last night. And boy, the Sabres must be wondering, why is our goalie playing so well? We want the first pick. We want Connor McDavid. More on Henrik Zetterberg when we come back.
This time of year, you know, I'm supposed to be there, supposed to score a goal, put up points for our team, and you know, I haven't done that lately. Obviously, it's something that I'm not happy about, and you know, hopefully I can change that tonight.
And with that, Mike Babcock's changed things too, putting him on a line with Pavel Datsyuk. Open University brings you the scouting report on Henrik Zetterberg's slump. So tonight, for the first time since Game 45, January 17th, he begins the game with Pavel Datsyuk.
It's certainly not from lack of effort, although there are nights when Henrik looks like he struggled at times to get up and down. I can tell you that his back is fine. It's not an issue that he had that surgery, and he's recovered nicely from that. Everything he's told me is fine. He feels good that way. But he's played a lot of hockey. It's been a long, long season. And boy, the way these games in this league are played nowadays, back-to-back and 5 and 8 nights and 4 and 6 nights, you get in the mid-30s, boy, it takes its toll.
That goes off the stick of Jordan Staal. That fractured right fibula in the preseason. That's what cost him the early part of the campaign. Brought on here and checked at the line was Ferraro as the play goes offside, and he's had a really nice season playing with Thomas Nosek and Kevin Porter for the most part. But Ferraro's a great penalty killer for Grand Rapids. He's got a lot of good speed, good skill, and to think he's got 27 goals this season, does Landon Ferraro, 24 at even strength, 3 shorthanded. He gets no power play time, and he's second in the American Hockey League in shots on goal.
Well, he hasn't had much of an opportunity with the Red Wings due to a lot of reasons, I guess, but it's not the first time that has happened or will happen in the future. Sometimes personnel, position, organization, and all that stuff. Some guys don't get a chance, and it's not by anybody saying we just don't want you.
As we take a look at our Flagstar Bank Star Watch.
But the bottom line is, when you're a guy like Ferraro, and your contract, I believe, he's up, is he not? Going forward, or one more year maybe? You've got to play as well as you can play, and if the organization you're with doesn't have room for you, then you just want to be able to be impressive to somebody else. Because if you're a good hockey player, somebody's going to get you. Somebody's going to want you.
And his dad, Ray, is working the Ottawa-Pittsburgh game tonight for TSN up in Canada. I said, Ray, you're really going to concentrate on the game? He said, not a chance. He said, I've got the box score and another TV right down here to watch my son, and who could blame him, right?
Right.
Remember last time when Landon made his debut, Ray was in the booth with us here on March the 18th a year ago. Here's Datsyuk across, hit a skate, and Zetterberg tried to get it through. Zetterberg gets dumped down low. Datsyuk hoping it would come free. Zetterberg back up to keep control. Played by Nestrasil, moved ahead, intercepted by Helm, who couldn't get it past Andre Nestrasil. Nestrasil kicking it ahead, then taken away by Datsyuk. Red Wings in the midst of a change. Datsyuk goes off. Anderson goes in after him. Turning his Belmont. For Hainsey. Tip to the middle. It went off Joachim Anderson. Out along with Stephen Weiss and Teemu Pulkkinen. This will be icing.
Well, you can tell Pavel Datsyuk is not 100%. He tried to get it through there to Zetterberg and hit him in the feet, and Zetterberg basically got tied up and wasn't able to get to the loose puck. Datsyuk himself got to it, but then he got tied up. So nice job by Carolina there to nullify the 2 European players.
Pavel Datsyuk didn't skate this morning. He's played 7 of the past 11. And has played the past 2. Wasn't sure about today. Seemed to aggravate the injury against Washington the other night, but was okay to go, and they need him.
Well, I mean, I know it's easy to say Pavel at 80% is better than most guys, but it's easier said than done. You're a fine-tuned machine when you're a high athlete like he is. And when you're not at 100%, it's a different way to deal with it mentally.
You'd call that a thoroughbred, right?
Yeah, really. But he's one of those kind of guys that, if he can withstand the pain, and he can go, and he can be effective, and he doesn't have to be running up and down the ice 100 miles an hour like a lot of these kids do in this game. So talented. He can make things happen sometimes out of nothing.
Covered there by Malone. And sent back as the Hurricanes carry across center. And that's backhanded out of play by John Michael Lyles. So we'll step out for a moment, and when we come back, Mickey York with another update.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Back to Ottawa we go. Already 1-0 Pittsburgh when the Penguins strike again. Ian Cole to Bo Bennett, who chips it in out in front. 2-0 Penguins in the first. Say it with me, Ken and Mick. Go Penguins!
I won't, but I'll leave that to you. And Pittsburgh hasn't missed the playoffs since Sidney Crosby's rookie year. If they win in regulation tonight, they do clinch. We were guessing the other night that if the Penguins were to miss, and they went into the lottery and the 1% chance they won it, they could get Connor McDavid. And yes, but they did deal their pick to Edmonton, and the David Perron deal, what we thought was that the Penguins had lottery protection. They don't. So if they miss, their pick does indeed go to Edmonton, and they wouldn't own it. So the Oilers would get it, but the chances, even if they miss, would be about a 1% to win the lottery. The draft lottery comes up on April 18th, by the way. Here's Glendening coming in for the right to pick first and second and so on down the list for those teams that did not make the Stanley Cup playoffs. Buffalo, heaven forbid, beat Carolina last night, and they're in a battle with Arizona. Carolina right now in the 5th spot for Bill Peters, the former Red Wing assistant coach for 3 seasons, and he played for Mike Babcock at Red Deer College in Alberta and coached with Mike in Spokane, so they know one another very well.
He brings a good pedigree to the position in Carolina. I'm sure Bill didn't expect the kind of first 40 games that they had over there. As you pointed out, they've been pretty darn good in the second half. And if they hadn't had that horrible start, they had a lot of injuries again to deal with as well, like you've been at Stahl and the goaltenders and stuff. But it's been a disappointing year, I'm sure, for Bill Peters and the Carolina Hurricanes.
That came loose in front. When things are going really poorly a few months ago, I said, what do you think? And he said, well, I'm looking at McDavid if that's the case. Here's Datsyuk. Had it knocked away. Back to the point. Khudobin came out on a hard to Kaiser shot. Kirby off Datsyuk. Knocked down by Hainsey. Over for Nathan Kirby again for Hainsey. Nathan Kirby with a big contingent here and another sellout crowd. 185th straight sellout here at the Joe, and many of them of the Kirby family from Oxford. Sent down ice by Nyquist to get it. John Michael Lyles, former star defenseman for Ron Mason's Spartans in the late 90s. Here's Nyquist, watched by Lyles. Nyquist with a good move out front. Puck is loose. And Khudobin knocked it down. Here's Sheahan. Khudobin stopped that. Sheahan's got it, then had it taken away. Came loose to the middle, and Skinner couldn't get there. Brendan Smith with it.
Pretty good chance for Riley Sheahan. He had all kinds of time. Tried to go top corner, short side, and just missed it.
Smith on defense with Jedlitsky. Pass too far for him. The Hurricanes intercept. Skinner's got it in down low. Now went off Brendan Smith. Skinner moved one near side for Jay McClement that didn't work. Sent back in by Jordan. It is written Michael Jordan, but it's pronounced Michael Jordan. I'd be using Michael Jordan, though, to get into restaurants. Jordan cleared it, and it's out of play with 5:02 to go. In the first period, you're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, the Red Wings with a very good home record at 21-10-9, and overall, with this organization facing Carolina, which moved from Hartford, since relocation, one regulation win at Joe Louis Arena, and that came last April 11th. That's been it. So dominance here at the Joe since 1990 for the Red Wings over Carolina. You mentioned that hurricane start to the season, Mick. They did not win in the month of October. They went 0-6-2, then went 5-0-1. So it took a while for Bill Peters to get his first win. The head coach in the National Hockey League spent some time with Rockford in the American Hockey League before Detroit. Puck given away, point shot high over the glove of Hudobin. Puck is knocked away, and Landon Ferraro got it ahead for Glendening. From mates in Grand Rapids. Pass knocked down at center. That's tipped through by Eric Stahl. He's become a much better two-way center. Stahl with 23 goals, his 9th 20-goal season. 50 points for a 10th time in 11 years in his terrific career. Back to pick it up is Joakim Anderson with under 4 to play here in the opening period. Ken Daniels, Mickey Redmond with you. Glad you're with us tonight on Fox Sports Detroit as Anderson carries in. Took a shot, went off a leg. Back for Pulkkinen. Bouncing puck is scooped there by Anton Hudobin, playing in his 34th game of the season.
Hey, fans, get a 2015-16 Red Wings ticket plan for as low as $340 and receive exclusive benefits like the chance to buy playoff ticket plans and a priority access to seating locations in the new arena for 2017-18. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by.
Latest update is the Penguins have made it 3-0 over Ottawa. The thing is, we've seen the way Ottawa's gone lately. I wouldn't count them out of anything just yet. The Red Wings have their own work to do here anyway. Helm got up by Falk, taken away by Datsuk with help from Zetterberg. Henrik Zetterberg fending off those checks as he does so well and swings it around for Datsuk, who does the same on the other side. Datsuk moves up high with it, drops it back here for Smith. They switch off. Smith, Zhidlitsky put a shot at, he didn't, and Zhidlitsky was covered, but made a nice play there for Datsuk. Brendan Smith a wire one and tipped in front, but just wide by Henrik Zetterberg.
Out to be 2-1.
Knocked out of the air calmly by Smith. Zetterberg got sandwiched and recovered there by Datsuk, who will go off for a change. Smith will follow suit after he moves his puck. In for Tatar. Belmore knocked it down. Cleared it for Malone. Chipped in deep by Jay McClement. De Kaiser, a little off balance, but was able to make the play. Tatar escaping the hit from McClement. John Michael Lyles and Nyquist are both up there. Went up Dwyer. And Tatar nearly put it in from an acute angle. Nyquist knocked off stride. Stays with it, though. To the line for Quincy. Looked in front, Tatar. And a save made by Anton Hudobin.
Not a lot of shots here. Only 3 for Carolina. This one is an attempted pass, really. And Hudobin did a nice job to stay with it on the redirection. Quincy head up all the way. And that deflected and actually went off Hudobin and didn't get redirected by Tatar. That's who he was looking for, Quincy, on that pass.
To the line for Jonathan Ericsson. Glendening able to corral it in back of the net. Checked by Murphy. Still made the play in front. It's still loose, but knocked away, and Semin has it now. Knocked down by Miller. Taken by Eric Stahl. For Jordan. Murphy. Good feet ahead. Knocked off Eric Stahl's stick. Came back for Jordan, and the shot just went wide. Sent in by Helm. Played by Falk to center. Derby gives him the puck back. Justin Falk, who leads the team in assists with 33. Falk with it again. Plays nearly 25 minutes a night. Howard taking no chances. He'll hold on for a face-off. Well, Mick, Alex Semin, and they wonder. They've got 3 more years at $7 million per year. He signed as a free agent. He had 44 points in 44 games in the shortened season. But since he signed the big deal in March of that shortened season, he's got 75 points in 133 games. He didn't score this season until his 20th game. It's a long time with a big contract. It is. After so many great years with Washington, he had a 40-goal season, 2 30-goal seasons, and has really struggled in Carolina. And that you'd think, although you should say some others were moved that you thought were unmovable in the National Hockey League, and specifically in Toronto, that one you think would be a tough one to move.
Well, they've always questioned his commitment to play hard every night. I haven't watched him enough to know that.
Yeah.
I'm just repeating what I've heard, but nonetheless, luck out here.
Break for Elias Lindholm. Detroit recovered well. 25 seconds to go in the period.
There are not many more talented players in the game than Semin when he's on his game.
Skinner tried to center, he couldn't. Jordan to Murphy. Ahead for the aforementioned Semin as the first period comes to a close. And Riley Sheahan will guest with our Johnny Kane here in our first intermission. And to lead us through, Darren Elliott, Chris Osgood, and Mickey York. Thank you, Mick. And, you know, since Pittsburgh hasn't missed the playoffs since Sidney Crosby's rookie season, Evgeny Malkin has never missed, but you had to know that Crosby was feeling the pressure.
You're darn right.
So many injuries, and this is his team. And here's the Red Wings. Before we get to the schedule the rest of the way, here's the clinching scenarios for Detroit. A win here, and Pittsburgh defeating Ottawa in regulation. So they're on their way in that one, but the Red Wings still need a win here. And Mick, as you know, Red Wings win 2 games. If Senators lose in any fashion, they're in anyway.
Yeah, there's just so many scenarios. Then you bring the Boston Bruins into it. You got Pittsburgh into it, and why don't we do that right now? Take a look at this mess. Look at this. Boston 95, Pittsburgh 95, Detroit 95. Pittsburgh's got Buffalo the last game of the year. They got the Islanders, who they haven't beaten. They're only beaten them once all year Friday night. Boston is in Washington tomorrow. They got to play hard because they want to keep up in the standings and don't get caught for home ice advantage. And then Boston goes to Florida. Tampa Bay is going to want to play hard to try to catch Montreal for first place overall in the conference. Boy, oh boy.
Well, with that thought in mind, Mick, let's look at the standings and see what you're talking about here.
Yeah, there you go. See Tampa Bay and Montreal.
So Detroit, second wild card team right now. So if the playoffs ended today, they would be taking on the New York Rangers in the first round. Detroit, New York. It would be Pittsburgh meeting Montreal. It would be 2 versus 7. But Detroit can still get over to where Boston is.
That's right over here, and would be third. And that means right now they play Tampa Bay. And if they should happen to get Montreal, then we'd play Montreal.
And Carolina, meantime, battling with Toronto to see where they go in the lottery round.
Yeah.
Because right now, Carolina within 2 points. Carolina 5th right now. Toronto 4th for the 4th best selection, which means Carolina right now has an 8.5% chance to win the draft lottery. Toronto a 9.5% chance. That's the only difference on a one placing here between fourth worst team and fifth worst team. Not a lot at all, but second period is underway, so still so much at stake. And as we said in our open tonight, not east nor west has a playoff matchup been decided yet. It's amazing how close the National Hockey League is to the line for Murphy and a fake shot. Trying to get around Glendening, who starts with Miller and Landon Ferraro. His fifth game in the National Hockey League and his first this season for number 29 of the Red Wings. And for Danny Cleary tonight. Kronwall circles the net guarded by Jimmy Howard and gives it back there for Jonathan Ericsson. Red Wings completing a change as Ericsson waits and sends a long pass ahead. Perfect to Datsuk. Over there to pick it up is Helm. Knocked away by Jordan. And cleared it out of play, and a penalty coming here to Carolina. So the Red Wings are going to head to the first power play of this game by either team.
Well, that's been a sore subject with the Red Wings lately, Ken. They've taken too many accidental, but still a penalty. They've taken too many penalties, they know it, and they've been trying to cut down. They didn't have too many against Washington the other night. They were better in that department. But Jordan, not Jordan, is in the box. And the Detroit power play will go to work. They've been 100 minutes, 31 seconds the other night of a 5-on-3, unable to cash in. This would be great right now.
Red Wings have scored a power play goal in 3 consecutive games and 4 of their past 5. Carolina penalty killing, third best in the National Hockey League. As the shot is tipped as Helm. Zetterberg let it go. Carolina is the least penalized team in the league, averaging just 6.7 minutes per game, and have allowed just 2 power play goals against their past 9. Steve Smith handles their penalty killing. Bill Peters did such a good job with Detroit in the penalty killing last season with the Red Wings. Right in front of the goal, they score!
Oh my God.
Zetterberg, what a beautiful backhand!
What a way to break a slump. Whoa. 32 seconds into the power play. And Carolina miscues on an assignment, and Zetterberg is left alone. Now, in the last couple of weeks, this is a play that we've seen happen for the Red Wings. Not for them, against them. And what a move by the captain. Wow, off the bar, in the net, 1-0 power play goal. And Zetterberg, the piano is off his back.
His first goal in a dozen games, a slump buster right there.
Wow.
And his second goal in 28. So the Red Wings in a 1-0 lead.
And I would think that lead is pretty darn important for a team that hasn't won much lately from a confidence standpoint.
Stephen Weiss and Darren Helm assisting, 1:29 into period 2. Red Wings 1 for 1 on the Bell Tire power play. Save made by Howard, knocked aside by Quincy. Picked up by Nestrasil to the line to J.M. Lyles. Shot just missing on the stick side.
This is your follow-up shift, and it's important that you have a good one if you're Detroit.
Nyquist trying to get through, a one-hander. Andre Nestrasil with it. Pass for Skinner, tipped in. Carolina in the midst of a change. Shedlitsky for Smith. Kicked ahead here by Zetterberg. Offside, though, as Datsuk made the play at the line.
It's April in the D, and on Fox Sports Detroit, join us again Thursday night when the Red Wings face off against the Canadiens de Montréal. Our coverage begins at 7 o'clock with Red Wings Live. That's Red Wings versus Canadiens, Thursday at 7 o'clock on Fox Sports Detroit from the wonderful European international city of Montreal.
And as you can see there, Max Pacioretty out of the lineup, still seeing doctors. The Canadians haven't released, but he was hit hard the other night. Datsuk into the slot and just sending it wide. Henrik Zetterberg with another chance. the Red Wings, even if they were to clinch tonight, there's a marriage proposal on the big board above center
What a
ice.
time to propose. For goodness sake. Wait till the play stops.
Fans enjoyed it. Well, it was a good time, at least they're in the lead.
He's in the lead for the moment.
Here's Helm with a chance. Another one. Hogan got a piece of that. Simmons got it. Sent down the ice by Rask.
I meant he, not them, by the way.
Miller. Glendening with a hit on Stahl. As in Jordan. Jordan Stahl with it. Checked by Glendening again. Out with Miller and Ferraro. Circling is Jordan Stahl.
Good job by Ferraro.
Miller backhands it in. Glendening and Ferraro head to the bench in the change. Brett Belmore with a pass ahead. Good move in here for Malone. Came back to the line and a shot. Knocked down in front. Turning with it. Eric Stahl's shot deflected. Up and out of play.
Well, Zetterberg had another pretty good scoring chance right behind his goal. But what a way to score a goal. That was a highlight type goal for him.
And the first 48 games this season, Mickey, had 15 goals and 45 points. And just 2 goals now is past 28. And his shots are down a bit. He's averaging 2.5 now. Was it upwards of 3.5 before? And as you heard from him earlier, it's just something he's got to work through.
The one thing that he can stick with, and it'll be his foundation, is he's got a big heart. His work ethic has not changed. And boy, nobody's got a bigger heart to play this game. He cares more and comes ready to play than he does.
Draw was won by Weiss. It will result in icing.
Me. Why would they call this icing when that defenseman took the Detroit winger out of play? Wow. Usually they don't. Here's a look at what happened. Watch this play right here. The defenseman comes after the winger right there, and he's going to block him instead of playing the puck.
Right.
That's a very, very weak call, and the Red Wings can hope they win the draw here and it doesn't end up in a decent scoring chance. And they do.
No icing on this one as Hainsey was back for fault.
Well, they did
penalty here.
A really
they
late
got
call. That's a really late call. I was watching both referees thinking it should have been called.
And O'Rourke got it. So Carolina goes to their first power play of this game. McClement gets dumped.
Not much question about that one. Pretty obvious. Yeah, he got her. Okay. Hard to miss that one.
Carolina's power play at 19%, 9th in the league. 4 power play goals their past 13 games. And Eric Stahl is their leader with 7 power play goals, tied with defenseman Justin Falk in that regard. Falk has 15 goals and 7 on the power play. He wears number 27. And at the left point right now, the right-hand shot. That shot got blocked. Glendening in front of that as Hurricanes' Victor Rask let it go. Native of Sweden. Rask into the zone for Eric Stahl. Glendening bumping there with Lindholm. Came back for Falk to Elias Lindholm. 5th overall pick in 2013 was Lindholm. Here's Falk to Lindholm. One-timer block. Eriksson got in front of that. Tap back to the line for Falk. That went over the stick of Victor Rask. Stahl put it back to the point. Here's Lindholm. To Falk. The shot hit his own man in front. Not cleared though by Eriksson. Kept in by Falk. That was retrieved by Kronwall, and down the ice it goes. instead. Helm out along with Riley Sheahan. Helm nearly stole that puck. Murphy leads the attack. His 87th career game tonight.
Oh, there you go. Oh. Wow, Sheahan almost
Murphy recovered. Kirby.
Oh, jeez. They're lucky they didn't play that puck. It would have been too many men on the ice.
Smart play by John Michael Lyles.
There
Not
was.
to play it.
Split-second decision, too.
He's got it now. Back for Kirby. Into Murphy. Off the Skinner to Murphy. Shot blocked out front. Penalty over. Anderson out of the box. Lyles back in for Jordan Staal. Checked by Quincy. Then Jordan Staal hit to Kaiser. Anderson to center. Taken by Miller. Khudobin will move it. Khudobin not a good puck handling netminder. Not a strong suit for him, nor is it for Jimmy Howard at the other end, who will let Brendan Smith take it, who then gave it away. But no harm done there. Zhidlitsky cleared at the center. That was not chipped through, but we'll call that icing.
Congratulations to the following winners. You're taking home a 25.
Your local Toyota dealers brings you the report card on the Red Wings. If they were to make the playoffs for a 24th consecutive season, they would now be the only team since 2005 to make the playoffs every year, because San Jose officially eliminated from the playoffs last night. Only Detroit and San Jose have made the playoffs every year since 2005, and the Shark streak is now over.
And the reason that everybody talks about that is that's when the game changed. That's when the big changes were made. After the lockout.
That's the cap.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rules and cap. Yep.
So and then there was one, and the Red Wings have to finish off some work first to be that one.
In those old days when Detroit had about an $85 million payroll, when Minnesota or Nashville had a $26 million payroll, those days went by the wayside in 2005 when you have a minimum of a floor for every team and a maximum of a ceiling for how much you can pay. And the Red Wings, through all of that, have been able to persevere.
Here's Nyquist trying to persevere to the goal, but it was knocked away by Khudobin. Rask for Skinner, stepped into by Eriksson. Sheahan. Khudobin to stop it. Cleared away. Nyquist tapped it in back of the net again. Here's Tatar. And they sneak one through. Yep. That deflected, and Gerby. Those little legs motoring there with that low center of gravity, trying to get past to Kaiser. That's how big players who are strong, low center of gravity, can compete in this league against bigger bodies. Just ask Johnny Gaudreau about that, who would be right there with Aaron Ekblad for Rookie of the Year, you'd think. Jordan Staal couldn't get through. As Miller is up, but they say Ferraro was just in ahead of the play, a little too anxious on the right side. So Henrik Zetterberg has the goal in this game as the Red Wings lead Carolina 1-0. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, this is game 80 of the Red Wings regular season, and if you go back to a year ago, it was Riley Sheahan in game 80 with 1:15 left as the Wings go to overtime, and they get a point to clinch. That was what they needed, and then to move on. And 2 years ago, final game, Henrik Zetterberg, as we mentioned earlier, led the Red Wings, and goal-away winning, and a big night for Zetterberg. So the final game a few years ago, game 80 last year, and that's where we are on this night as the Red Wings look to clinch again for a 24th straight season. Saved by Howard. Big rebound up front. And he's got that and a hold on.
Well, they haven't been down that end of the ice very much, Carolina. Only 6 shots on goal. Now that'll be unofficially 7. But a dangerously close play as the puck was turned over, believe it or not, at center ice. Wow. You drive to the net like that. Howard did a nice job to protect that puck with his goal stick, or they slap it in. Victor Rask almost got to that loose puck. And then Chris Terry right behind him.
Draw controlled by Detroit is Brendan Smith. Gets checked there by Lindholm. Loose for Skinner. Smith still battling. Comes back to the line. Near side for Hainsey. Howard will stop that shot. There's nobody in front of him, so it made it easy for him.
Hey, Red Wing fans, time for you to get the 2015 Stanley Cup playoff tickets. Tickets for round 1 home games 1 and 2 are on sale now. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 right now. Ticket executives are waiting for your phone call.
And in the nation's capital of Canada, it was still Pittsburgh 3, Ottawa nothing in that game. Again, the Red Wings win here tonight in any fashion, along with a Senators loss in regulation time to Pittsburgh. Within 60 minutes and the Red Wings will be in the playoffs for a 24th consecutive season, leading all major pro sports currently going for success in a playoff run. Not a lot of shots in this game, 3 seconds away from the halfway point. The Red Wings have the 1 goal they need from Henrik Zetterberg, from Weiss and Helm on the power play, 1:29 into period number 2. Still no word on when Justin Abdelkader will be able to return, nor Eric Cole, who are both still listed, day-to-day injured. Point shot, Eriksson, loose in front of the net. He can't get a handle on it. Nyquist jamming away. And Murphy able to come up with that for Carolina and just flings it out to center ice, and that's into the Red Wing bench. And a stop in play. 11 seconds past the halfway point in this game. The Red Wings in a 1-0 lead and came close to adding to it.
49 to go, second period. It's 1-0 for the Detroit Red Wings over the Carolina Hurricanes, and a face-off win and a knuckleball to the net almost made it 2 as Hudobin got this off his left toe right on the goal line. Nice job by Carolina defensively to give him some help. And that almost got in off the stick of the car. Yeah, it was. Jimmy Howard with a contact lens, it looks like, issue. Can't imagine that would be a very good thing if you're a goaltender. You got a problem with your eyes. Holy jumping.
Tony Esposito had a problem with his eyes. Those long shots from center.
Tell me about it. I used to room with Tony. Yeah.
Couldn't see the door. There were other reasons he couldn't see the door. Let me tell you that.
Well, I used to wake up in the middle of the night and he wanted to talk. I go, okay. We lived in a motel for about 3 months in Montreal, he and I. The Martinique Hotel, downtown Montreal, was unbelievable. Oh, what a goalie he was. 15 shutouts, Mr. Shutout that 1 year. My goodness. Wow. Yeah, Jacques Lemaire scored from center ice at one time, but in tight, you could not beat him. And then he got his eyes fixed.
Well, all those practicing with his brother, Phil.
Yeah, really.
Sent down ice. Here comes Helm. And that went off Justin Falk's stick. Up and out of play.
Okie dokie. Saturday, April 11th, Major League Baseball returns to Fox Sports 1 with a doubleheader. Red Sox take on the Yankees, followed by the playoff rematch as the Royals battle the A's. Coverage begins Saturday, April 11th, 12:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Baseball season's underway. Good opener for the Tigers yesterday. What a job by Price.
Wasn't it? Wow. And 12 o'clock tomorrow, Tigers live.
Second of start. 162 ball games. Holy jumping. It's a long year. Woo. A lot of games.
I hate to do that prorated for you. There's a shot just went wide.
Yes.
Here's Pulkin. Threw it in back of the net. Anderson went down, trying to get a hold of Jay McClement, who flipped it past Weiss. Now to an open wing for Brad Malone. Howard threw it off the glass and a good play. Pulkkinen got checked. Loose puck at center here for Weiss, then knocked off his stick. Easy for Carolina.
I don't know if Carolina does this every night, but boy, they've had a lot of turnovers in this game tonight. I mean, Detroit really hasn't had a chance to take advantage of them because they haven't been deep inside the blue line. A lot of them just at the line or in the center ice area, but that's obviously been a bugaboo with this team all year long, and the reason they're not going to make the playoffs, or one of the reasons.
And they've got some players on their team are actually among the league leaders in takeaways, and they're pretty good as a group for the most part, but you see a little struggle there for Jordan Staal.
What that is, it's a plug to stop your nose from bleeding because you can't play anymore with blood active on your body.
Carolina, third in the NHL in fewest shots against per game, allowing just 27. They allowed 14 tonight. So pretty much on pace for that. The problem at this juncture is they've only got 9 shots on goal themselves. Made quite a few deals at the deadline. Sekera, Leeson, Palusti.
Well, Detroit's playing this thing pretty close to the vest, boy. I mean, like they should.
And if anything, the Red Wings should have the legs, and Carolina shouldn't have theirs, having played last night and losing 4-3 in Buffalo, but some will say they only played half a game, and boy, did they pour it on in that half after being down 4-0. Took 52 shots last night, but those are the Sabres, not the Red Wings, and they've only got 9 tonight. Knocked down by Miller. Here's Glendening. Glendening with it again. Ferraro trying to get a shot on goal. He couldn't. Ferraro has good speed. Played at the line and tapped in deep. Simmons couldn't pick it up. Ferraro got knocked down by Jordan Staal, and a shot from Simmons sailed wide. Staal back of the net. Off his stick, Miller moved it. Glendening gets knocked down from behind, and Ferraro made sure to get it down into Hurricanes territory. Zetterberg knocked it down ice, picked up by John Michael Lyles. Former Spartan star put it out to center ice. Back in here for Helm. Speed, such a weapon up there along with Datsuk.
I mean, it's so obvious when he's got the guns going, boy. He's fast, and he's also quick.
Eric Staal has it. Dropped it back to his brother, and a good sweeping play to knock it down by DeKeyser. Pushed ahead here for Helm. Took the shot, it was blocked. Able to recover is Darren Helm with it. DeKeyser was checked, but able to stay with Gerby.
A good job by DeKeyser to buckle down, boy, and be strong on a puck.
Back in for Terry, couldn't get anywhere, Chris Terry. And then, loose in front. The shot and wide. What an opportunity for Rask. Another shot, they score! And in front of family and friends, it's Oxford's Nathan Gerby, who ties up this game 1-1.
Well, this is a bounce off a leg that is supposed to go to the corner right there, and it doesn't. It hits a Hurricane. They miss a wide open shot there, and the puck bouncing like a rubber ball right into the slot, and right at the hash marks, Gerby knuckleballs it up into the top corner. Howard never saw it, but there's the play right there. Anderson trying to flip it back to the boards to DeKeyser. It hit the white jersey, and we're tied at 1 because of it. Boy.
Rask and Terry were the other two for Carolina on that play. So how big do those saves by Hudobin on Nyquist and Tatar look now?
Detroit has made very few mistakes in this game, and they make one, and it costs them.
That puck's knocked away.
Whoa. You're not going to call out too many men, are they?
Couldn't be. We've had 3 straight games with that.
No, I mean for Carolina to hit the guy going off, hit him in the foot.
This game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. The Rangers in New Jersey tonight on the power play. Ryan McDonough snaps the puck through traffic and past Corey Schneider to give the Rangers a 2-1 lead as they get ready to start the third there in New Jersey. Ken, Mick, back to you in a 1-1 hockey game with the Joe.
Thanks, Mick. If the playoffs started today, here's how it would look, and I don't think the Red Wings would want the Rangers as a first-round opponent. They'll take whatever they can get. However, the Rangers have had a marvelous season, and Henrik Lundqvist, who was hurt for such a long time, and a slow starter in October he may be, but come back in April, he's done really well in his return, all but the first game. So the King is back in New York, and the Rangers are going to be a force to be reckoned with in the East, I think. But really, as it goes through the Eastern Conference, maybe except the Rangers, if anybody beat anybody in the first round, I don't know how much of an upset you'd consider it. That's how close it all is.
Yeah, if you had a wish of where you're going to go, I don't think it would be Rangers right off the hop.
That shot wide of Howard. To the far side as Ferraro moved in. Turned back here by Semin. That was chipped at by Ferraro to the corner. Glendening back into traffic, made a neat little play there for Eriksson, and Miller made sure to get it down the ice, but it will be icing. So Carolina's Bill Peters used the opportunity to change, and the Red Wings will not be able to on that icing call. Well, the new Carolina Hurricanes general manager with Jim Rutherford taking over in Pittsburgh is Ron Francis, the great Ron Francis. Today's fun fact brought to you by Southgate Lincoln, and finished his career with 1,798 points. And if Jaromir Jagr gets another one, he's going to pass him. But Jagr's passed many in his great career, but Ron Francis, one of the great guys in the game and one of the best ever play this game, and this date in 02. And remember that year, the Red Wings and Hurricanes to the Stanley Cup final, as Detroit off the icing has called a timeout.
Well, Ron Francis was a classy player. He came out of Sault, I remember he came out of Sault Ste. Marie as a kid, 18-year-old. He was good right off the hop. Big smile by Skinner, good hockey player, small guy, smart, speedy, good skater, and he knows how to find the back of the net.
Draw one by the Hurricanes. Murphy couldn't shoot it, then did. It was blocked and cleared away by Ferraro, and Miller racing down ice as they go for a change. A bouncing puck to the left of Howard, taken by Kronwall. Up the middle. It worked for him, though. Nyquist chipped it down.
It did. And nobody in particular except Nyquist coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw it and hope. On to Nestrasil. Former Red Wing shot stopped by his former teammate Jimmy Howard. As you look at Andre Nestrasil, who in years past dropped a lot of weight. He came to the Red Wings camp and surprised a lot of people in making the team. And there was some thought, is there any way to keep him? But biggest thing he said when I asked him at training camp in Traverse City, how did you lose the weight? He said, I stopped eating junk food. It was his habit. He loved it, but really worked at it. I said, your skating's really improved. And he said, it has, because if you want to know how bad it was, ask Kenny Holland, because I never thought I'd be here. But he worked at it, and that's a lesson for all, right?
I guess that habit of eating junk food is not one he had alone.
No, I'm with him. Zetterberg knocked it in deep. Helm. Check, Terry. Helm trying to take it away from Terry. He did. Zetterberg chasing in back of the goal. Some good work there, being worked over and knocked down, cross-checked by Hainsey. Partisan crowd wanting a penalty on that. Long shot, Howard save, rebound out front, and they bang it in. You get the second try and it goes in. And Carolina in a 2-1 lead with under 3 to play in period 2.
Well, Zetterberg continues to complain to the referee of what happened at the other end, but I think as we look at this play here, this rebound can't come out like this. They get one shot at it, that doesn't go in. They get the second shot at it, and it does.
Chris Terry, the rookie, gets his 11th.
So similar goals by Carolina. Although the first one was a scramble and Jimmy Howard never saw it. That rebound probably can't happen. And they're down a goal.
So Carolina getting 2 after the Red Wings had scored early here in period 2. Anderson offside. Victor Rask getting 2 assists.
Boy, this Red Wing medal is going to be tested. You're inside 3 minutes in the second period, and the scenario that we've set for you, the table is set for them to solidify a playoff spot here. And they're going to, if they can't change something here in 2:27, they're going to have to go into this dressing room thinking, all right, where are we going to go here? What are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? I mean, that's how to play. You got to bite down, dig in, and bring it. They've had a hard time doing that the last 3 weeks, and they haven't won many games because of it.
Ottawa now within 2. They've scored. It's 3-1 Penguins now. So the goal by Chris Terry to give him the lead on Terry's birthday today. So that'll be a pretty nice gift for him. As Chris Terry turns 27 today. Back to get it, Kronwall. Back to the point, and the shot goes wide. Perfect. Blocked in front. Landon Ferraro put it off the linesman's skate, turned back in here by Eric Stahl. And Howard will grab a shot that was going wide. And coming up in our MGM Grand Detroit intermission report, analyze the Carolina goals, 2 in this period. From our goaltenders, Chris Osgood, Darren Elliott, along with one who isn't, Mickey York. Helmet taken away by Skinner, then in turn taken by Datsuk for Zetterberg to Helm. He gains the zone. Zetterberg to the goal. There it is, and a good save by Hudobin. Left pad again. Nestrasil back into the high slot, and Skinner's shot stopped by Howard.
Pretty good scoring chance right there, boy. Guy coming late into the slot. They find him. Left-hand shot coming off the right wing, but let's go to the other end first. Helm with his speed, a flip shot to Zetterberg, who doesn't get it up, and Hudobin makes that nice pad save there. That's a great scoring chance. That'll go down as 1, and they come right back to the other end and get one themselves. All of a sudden, the shots were in Detroit's favor badly. Now are 16 apiece.
Howard will leave it there for Jonathan Ericsson for Kronwall. Shots are even, but the score is not any longer as the Hurricanes have grabbed the lead. Ryan Murphy, who was a teammate of his current teammate Jeff Skinner back in their Ontario Hockey League days in Kitchener. Derby tries to get through. Derby got the first Carolina goal to even the game at 1 before the birthday boy. I aged him by a year. He's 26 today. It's Chris Terry who has given the Hurricanes the lead. That's Eric Stahl. 3 to go in the period. Couldn't center, would be a break, but however, it's going to run out of time. It's not even the speed of one of the quickest in the league. Darren Helm would have time to get that shot off. So in that second period, After no goals in the first, 3 in the second, 2 by Carolina as we send it to the studio and Mickey York. While the Carolina Hurricanes have 7 of the last 8 shots on goal in this game, and they scored on 2 of them. Shots are even at 16 apiece. In the final 6 minutes of the second period, Carolina had 6 scoring chances. In those 6 minutes, they only had 1 scoring chance the first 34. So the Red Wings need to get it going here in the third. Limit Carolina like they did early on. Miller tried to jam it. Gordon Stahl got stopped.
Need some desperation here is what we need. Which team is trying to get a playoff spot by those numbers you just quoted? Boy.
Turn back Ferraro and off the leg. Ferraro in for Glendening as the Red Wings are changing. Change completed, so Kronwall moves it for Zetterberg. He is the Red Wing goal in this game. Couldn't keep that puck in, then Quincy stripped it from Carolina, made the play back. Too far for Helm will result in an icing charge against Detroit. Tim Hortons brings you the upcoming game schedule. Only 2 to play. Will be in Montreal, who will be without Max Pacioretty on Thursday, then meeting these Hurricanes to wrap up Game 82 on Saturday. Here on Fox Sports Detroit, the Red Wings with 1 overtime point against Montreal this season. Canadians won all 3 games.
Played well against them. Basically should have had a much better fate, for sure.
Well, that first one in Montreal back in October, Red Wings controlled 40 minutes of that game.
Well, they led with 3-4 minutes left in the game. They lost it in overtime.
Probably the MVP of the league in their goal in Carey Price. Ovechkin will give him a little bit of a run, but I just think it'll be Price who will win it. What a season he's had. Who knows? That could be a first-round matchup for Detroit yet. First, they have to get there. Datsyuk. For Nyquist. Scores! Tie game!
That came out of nowhere. So Gus Nyquist, who's heated up lately, he's one of the few. As Datsyuk makes the play, holds up. This puck went right between the pads. This is probably going to go down as a bad goal. I don't think it hit anybody. And in the NHL, they say the puck can't go through you. It can go around you, but they don't like it when it goes through you. Bottom line. 2-2. Wow. Huge in the first 2 minutes of the period.
His 4th goal is past 7, and 5th goal is past 9. For Gus Nyquist. Went through that horrible stretch without. De Kaiser getting the secondary assist. Datsyuk who fed Nyquist at the shot that got through. 156. The Red Wings had scored 129 into period 2 and score early here in the third.
Well, let's have a look at how this thing is set up. Carolina just makes a change. No problem there. I mean, nobody's even coming near you. Hold it right there, guys. Look at this. 4 red and 3 white. Go ahead. This shouldn't be a big problem. Hold it right there. Now you got a guy here. He's looking at him. He should be looking at him. He's covering him. Here's your key guy right there. The trailer. The deadly trailer. And he's right into the slot between 2 people. A perfect storm for Carolina, and it costs them. And it's a bad goal for their goaltender to boot to give up.
And Nyquist, remember a stretch he had 1 in 14, then went 8 without 1. And since then, the past 9, he's been on a roll again, and his 4th the last 7, and 5 and 9 for Gus Nyquist. free is Ferraro. Beating Jordan Staal to it, knocked him down. Alexander Semin couldn't punch it past Kronwall and then gave Kronwall a punch to the head. Falk carries in. Good move, then lost it. The ever reliable Drew Miller just cleared it away.
Was he ever?
Here's Semin. Power to hold on.
There's what they were hollering about. He really never got the stick up in the back of his head or anything there. He was shoving him in the rear end, really. And an innocent enough looking play. It looked dangerous, but I don't think it should have been called either.
Carolina wins that draw back for Falk. Shot. Kirby played one in deep. Looked for the return pass. Came to the line to Hainsey. They look up the middle for Datsyuk, but knocked down. Falk sends the Red Wings in retreat mode. Khudobin left it for Falk, went off a leg. Ricocheted in a favorable place for Rask. Stepping up on the play with Smith to intercept, to give it to Datsyuk. Across the one-timer. What a good save off a helm shot. Khudobin was quick on that.
He had him moving.
Khudobin has lost his last 6 starts. His last win was March 15th, 3-2 against Columbus. Helm with a shot, saved by Khudobin. Rebound, knocked loose, Datsyuk. And Anton Khudobin holds on.
Fans liking it here. Early third period. They've tied the game, the home team. And what a blast by Helm. He had him going to the left and he shot it back to the right. Just got that blocker on it. Nice save there. Wow. Datsyuk a moment ago with a backhander hoping to do some damage. No such luck there. Bottom line here, in a 2-2 game, the Red Wings cannot afford to give up another goal. They need to lock the door. If they have to, you go to overtime. You get a point and look for a win there or the shootout. But the bottom line is you cannot give up another goal in the 60-minute game.
Lindholm stolen and tracking back to take it was Riley Sheahan. Sheahan with Nyquist and Tatar. Sheahan goes after it. Belmore there first. Back in for Polkman. Taken at center by Eriksson for Polkinen. Knocked away by Nestrasil. Carolina in the midst of a change. So turning is J.M. Lyles. Lead pass for Pat Dwyer. Polkinen's got it. Dwyer's quick goal was on him. Played in by Weiss. Going after it is Anderson. Pass out to the line was intercepted by Zhedlitsky. Falk took it away from Polkinen. This will go right to Howard, so no icing. Merritt Zhedlitsky's got it. Jordan moved it. Alexander Semin at center. Shooting it in as Howard got crossed up in there, came loose in front of the net. broken by Miller. Murphy.
You can breathe now, Red Wing fans.
Yeah. You can almost hear the two goaltenders in the studio thinking, if you're not sure about playing it, just leave it for it. Oh, boy. That's Zetterberg. Good job to stay onside. Sends a looper on the backhand. Quincy moves in to get it. Hainsey, good play to make it to fault. Chipped down by Terry, who has one of the goals for Carolina. Datsuk for Helm. To Datsuk to Helm. Takes the shot. Who dove in the save? Zetterberg. Here's one of the Red Wing goals. Terry across center. Couldn't get through. Zetterberg back. Finds Datsuk. Pulled it back. And it was knocked away. Good defensive effort by Belmore. Sent to the far corner. On it is Andre Nestrasil. Right up there by Riley Sheahan. Former mates. American Hockey League and in the NHL with the Red Wings. Icing against Detroit. Well, Ottawa, they keep on scrapping, Mickey York.
Yeah, that they do, Kenny. The Wings scored a quick goal to start the third. Ottawa has done the same. 30 seconds into the third. Mark Stone with a wrister. Now 3-2 Pittsburgh with plenty of time left in Ottawa. Ken, Mick?
That Mark Stone for the Ottawa Senators, he's become one of the top. We saw him against Detroit in the shootout winner. He's become one of the top rookies in the league offensively. And, talk about Forsberg and Gaudreau, but Stone's going to get some votes too for the Calder Trophy. He's been leading those Senators the last month.
I think between Gaudreau and Stone and a poor second half for Forsberg that he's out of it.
Yes, but there's Aaron Ekblad on the back end, the Florida defenseman at 18 years old, what he's done.
Yeah, right.
Has been remarkable. So
awfully good, that's good.
Yeah. Drew Miller. But the shot was blocked. Stays with it. Ferraro and Glendening in front. Miller to the line for Jonathan Ericsson. Safe play in behind. As Glendening battles. Clement for Carolina. Drew Miller for the Red Wings, taken out by Hainsey. Grabbed her by Ferraro. Tried to center it, went off the skate. Glendening moves in on Dwyer, who circles. Patrick Dwyer with a move and just got it out of harm's way. Ferraro with a move at his own line. Good second effort to knock it away. Get to the bench on a change. Carolina Skinner with a high shot off the glass. Rask back to the line. Howard with the save to the corner. Skinner out front. Nyquist moved. His feed for Tatar across center and down. Sheahan reaching for it, along with Nyquist, who goes after it, chased by Rask. Tatar came over. Tatar's got it one more time for Nyquist. Converged upon by 3 Carolina players. No room to move. Here's Tatar with a little space. Tatar slap shot high. Over the stick side and wide. Hurricanes don't get it out. Nyquist looks for help. Takes the shot, got blocked, and then cleared by Belmore. Quincy hurried it back in behind. This line's tired. The 3 will go off. Brendan Smith got a piece of that. Quincy able to clear it. Datsuk. As the Hurricanes are changing. Helm went off the dasher. Strange bounce. Datsuk. Pulls it along the kick plate. Behind the back pass. A good one by Datsuk, but unfortunately Zetterberg wasn't near it.
Should have been an icing, hit the linesman.
Zetterberg right back in. Falk knocked him off stride. Put it in front of him. Scores! The Datsyukian one makes it 3-2.
Well, this is the determination and heart that I talked about earlier from number 40. He's being pinched off by Falk, almost knocks him down, keeps his balance, still there, takes a two-hander right across the wrist, and Datsyuk plays it off his left skate and snaps the wrist shot on the blocker side to make the Red Wings up 3-2. Bingo. Like that. What a play by number 40. Wow.
And if now I can complete your thought, as Semin drives the net. Oh, Howard! Stop that! Jimmy Howard, a big save right there on Alexander Semin, and on the Datsyuk goal. Good thing that play wasn't icing.
There you go.
We'll be back.
Henrik Zetterberg, 2 years ago, lockout season. Game for all purposes, it was 48, which really is 82. And the Red Wings needed the win, and Henrik Zetterberg put the piano on his back and made sure this hockey team got into the playoffs. And tonight he's got a goal and an assist. That took off the goalpost. Nice angle there, guys, and that's going to be our big boy play of the game. 8:21 to go. It's a go-ahead goal for Datsyuk.
And Datsyuk with a goal and an assist tonight. And again, for the first time since game 45, they started the game, Datsyuk and Zetterberg on the same line together. And when things were broken, they attempt to fix them and to get both going, and indeed they have tonight. That came loose. Near side. Shot by Belmore out the other way. Lyles has it. Back for Belmore. Down low for Eric Stahl, went high. Red Wings have 3 goals tonight from 3 big scores. Nyquist, Datsyuk, and Zetterberg. Wraparound try. Loose in front. Rebound. As Lyles the battle for the puck. Point shot. Saved by Howard. Loose in front of the goal and just wide. Ferraro desperately trying to clear it away. Was hit earlier and without a stick. Point shot blocked in front. It's about sacrificing bodies now. Under 8 to play. Now went over Quincy's stick. Shane's got it.
Settle her down, boys.
Nyquist will turn back.
You got to lock the door here. As I said earlier, you cannot afford to give up another goal in this hockey game to guarantee yourselves a win here in regulation time. Still 3-2 in Ottawa. Not quite at the halfway mark of that third period. And Pittsburgh's on top.
Regardless of what Detroit does tonight, Ottawa would have to lose in regulation time to Pittsburgh for the Red Wings to be able to clinch. Red Wings can win here in any fashion. Lead 3-2. Nyquist out there. He's got his 27th goal of the season tonight. He led the Red Wings last year with 28. It's Tatar who leads them with 28 this season.
9.5 left in Ottawa. 3-2 Pittsburgh.
It was 3-0. The Kaiser shoots it in. Hudobin to play it. Then gave it away to Datsyuk. Down low to Helm, and Hudobin got a piece of that.
Got to play. They finally get it. Well, game saver for sure. Jimmy Howard, a few moments ago. Oh, how does that not go in? Eric Stahl is living.
Pavel Datsyuk missed 5, played 2, missed 2, and now he's playing his 3rd straight. And here's what his line has done tonight. And Pavel Datsyuk, in the first meeting with Carolina this season, that the Red Wings won 3-1 December 7th in Carolina, where they'll be again Saturday. Pavel Datsyuk had the game-winning goal that night. He had a goal and 2 assists, 3 points that night when he was off to his career best start with 12 goals and 22 points his first 17 games of the season. And Datsyuk has the go-ahead goal here tonight, along with 1 assist as well.
You know what's good about that? There's a turnover.
As it's brought back in by Hainsey and a save by Howard.
Good job, Howard, to make sure there's no rebound. Boy, oh boy, these are the kind of plays that you have to avoid if you're to try to hang on to a lead and not put this thing on a platter. I mean, here's the turnover right there. And then they're coming at you. See, everybody else is going north, and all of a sudden it's coming south, and these are dangerous plays, boy. You're scrambling to get back on your feet, but to finish up on your point, Ken, on Pavel Datsyuk, I think it's really important. The fact he didn't even know he was going to play today, and it's really important that he's had a good game and he's gotten production to show for it. Got to make him feel good, and even though that injury is bothering him, he's going to be in the game.
Big shot at the line by Jordan. It's just wide, but no one there to pick it up.
Comes Datsyuk to make it a 3-on-2.
Helm's shot went off Ryan Murphy's stick, up and out of play.
Okay, gang, get the 215, 216 Red Wings ticket plan for as low as $340 and receive exclusive benefits like the chance to win and buy playoff ticket plans and priority access to seating locations in the new arena for 2017-18 season. For more info, go to DetroitRedWings.com/new ticket plans. Only 2 years away from this fall. It'll be here before you know it.
Puck taken by Nestrasil.
Hear that bench? Skate, skate, skate.
Saved by Howard off a sharp shot from Elias Lindholm. Another one in, Howard will hold. 5:17 to go, third period.
Pittsburgh's on the power play. 8:39 to go in that game. Still 3-2 Pittsburgh.
So by the looks of it, until we get to Red Wings live post-game, that continues on. If this one finishes in 60, we'll have to see.
They're still going.
They're still going.
Yeah.
Back in front. Off the board shot. Howard, good save. He was quick to the left pad on that. Then it's taken away. Here's Tatar for Gus Nyquist. Tatar circles. Zhilitsky. 19 games as a Red Wing. He's got 3 goals and 8 assists. 11 points in 19 games for the trade deadline acquisition.
Yeah, the shame of it is that since Cole and Zhilitsky have joined the team hasn't played very well. And it has nothing to do with the way they've played either.
Cole was good in the time he was in, and still with the upper body injury, so no telling when he'll be back. If he will be, who knows right now. Still hoping to have Abdelkader back prior to the playoffs, but again, don't know yet. He's out with the hand injury. Up the middle, but a play by Ferraro to get it out.
Good energy, Ferraro tonight, and that was not an easy play to figure out. It was in traffic.
Eric Stahl sent the shot through that was deflected. So the Red Wings, who are down 2-1 after 40, got a goal from Nyquist, his 27th, and then the Magic Man, Pavel Datsyuk, gave the Red Wings the lead.
Well, Ken, I'm going to change what I did earlier. I'm going to I gave it to Datsyuk. I'm taking it away from him. I'm giving it to Zetterberg as our big boy. Plays in the game. He's had a wonderful game, goal and assist. So for big boy, that's it. The captain, Zetterberg, leads the way, and he hopes it'll be all that's needed to put this baby to bed with 3:55 to go. Sorry, Pavel. You'll have other chances. I know you will.
That's so rude.
I know. But that's the way it goes.
Is that final from the decision desk? Is that final
it.
now?
That's it.
Okay.
The goal.
All right.
The jury's in. Pavel will get more.
Yeah. By the way, the Rangers have clinched the President's Trophy with a victory tonight.
That's not good.
They'll finish with the best record in the National Hockey League. The New York Rangers, they beat the Devils 4-2.
Good news for them, not for Detroit, because if we don't get the scenario we want.
Ooh, Jimmy Howard. trying to keep that scenario they want.
Which is the Red Wings win in any way, shape, or form tonight. And Ottawa loses in 60 minutes. Red Wings are in the playoffs. If that doesn't happen, Ottawa's in there Thursday night. And if the Rangers have already clinched, they'll be resting people. No good.
Although, if they rest King Henrik, well, I'd say Cam Talbot's been pretty good.
Oh, he's been great. There you go. Here's what I'm talking about. Tonight, a win versus Carolina. Anyway.
And Ottawa's got to lose in regulation in Pittsburgh. So even a Red Wing win tonight, if the Senators get a point, they're not out yet. To the middle, Zetterberg. Knocked it off a leg. 3:15 to go here in the third. Datsuk carries on with it. Helm circles back at the line. Got it in on Hudobin, who left it for his defenseman Falk.
5 minutes to go in Ottawa. 3-2 Pittsburgh.
Datsuk back in. Stood up at the line by Hainsey. Who gets it back. Rink wide feed. Falk at center. Carolina in the midst of a change for Bill Peters. Tatar for Shan. Bouncing puck, couldn't get it in.
That puck's got to go deep. Both fiddling around at center ice.
Kirby does that for Carolina. Howard to leave it. Picked up here by Murphy. The defenseman scooting in to get it. Ryan Murphy into the slot off the skate of Rask. Hudobin about 15 feet in front of his crease, waiting for instructions from Bill Peters. A good thing he didn't go yet for him. Here's Tatar. Tatar cutting to the net. Oh, and Hudobin stopped that. As Tatar nearly sealed the deal. Murphy. Bill Peters' hand is up at the bench. He's calling for his goaltender, who now goes. Net is empty. Carolina, 6 skaters. Their goal is vacant. To the slot. Howard the save, and the rebound. It's cleared.
That scramble. This won't be icing.
1:35 to go in the third period. That'll go right to Howard. He'll move it for Eriksson. Off the boards and again down ice. Here's Semin. Eric Stahl moves in. Big collision with Jonathan Eriksson. It came loose to Semin. Back to the point. Hainsey, the shot missed. Another shot into a crowd from Skinner.
Very nice.
With 61 seconds to go.
Tatar. What's new with him? Like a Mexican jumping bean all over the place. Boy, oh boy. And Carolina will use their timeout. They had the only one left with 1:01 to go. And a face-off deep in the Detroit zone. DeKaiser got banged up on that last shift. Switch to Ottawa. 4.5 to go. 3-2 Pittsburgh. As they try to draw up what they want to happen. Now, this depends on whether you win the face-off. They have to have 2 plans here. A, when you win it, and B, when you lose it. Both. You have to figure them both out. More important to me is if you lose it, what do you do? How do you cover? 6 skaters to 5, somebody's going to be open. Or should be.
Well, you know the 2 stalls are out there for Carolina and Skinner and Semin. Rask and Falk. Glendening on the draw. Came loose to the middle for Falk. A shot just wide. Eriksson back there with Kronwall. Miller, Glendening, and Anderson for Detroit. Anderson didn't get it out. Falk's got it. Near side. Knocked away. Picked up by Rask again. To the line to Falk. Blocked in front. Miller, I believe, got in front of that. Here's Jeff Skinner going wide with it. Skinner to the goal. Stopped by Howard. They all jam in there. Cleared away by Eriksson. Out to center ice. Half minute to go. Crowd on their feet.
Broken stick Kronwall. He got off, fortunately.
Hurricanes try to get back in. They don't. Ricochets off a body. Taken back by Jordan Staal. 15 seconds left. Final home game of the regular season for Detroit. Looking to get a step closer to a 24th straight playoff season.
Offside.
Puck to the corner.
Could have been offside.
This game is over. The Red Wings win it 3-2. A major step tonight.
.304 left in Ottawa. 3-2 Pittsburgh.
So again, the Senators, for Red Wings' sake, must lose in regulation time. The next 3 minutes, time will tell whether the Red Wings tonight are in the playoffs for a 24th consecutive season as they salute the 185th consecutive sellout crowd here at the Joe. Time they leave the ice here until they hope the playoffs. On to Montreal Thursday on Fox Sports Detroit, and then close the season in Carolina Saturday night against these Hurricanes. Updated standings, Ottawa still playing. If they don't get 2 in regulation, it's over.
Boston Bruins are at the New York Rangers at Washington tomorrow. Ottawa is at the Rangers Thursday. It may not matter if Pittsburgh holds on. They're inside 2 minutes in Ottawa.
Chris Terry, the third star. Here's Eric Freine.
Number 40, Henrik Zetterberg. Star number 1, also from Detroit. Number 13, Pavel Datsyuk.
Well, good thing he was able to play. Pavel Datsyuk, the first star, a goal and an assist. He had a game winner against Carolina in the first meeting, 3-1. He's got the game winner in the second meeting, 3-2, and they'll meet again on Saturday night. Jimmy Howard made some big saves tonight as he stopped 30 of 32. And the Red Wings 1 for 1 on the power play. Carolina 0 for 1 on theirs.
Ottawa timeout. 3-2 Pittsburgh. Inside 2 minutes. Boy, amazing. 4 days to go in the season. Pittsburgh 95, Boston 95. Red Wings coming in tonight with 95. And Ottawa 93. That's why it's all crunch time. Everybody on their edges of their seats here in these 4 cities for sure. Red Wings have done their thing and won in regulation.
So the Red Wings, while Pittsburgh continues to lead there, the Red Wings hope Ottawa comes away with nothing through 60 minutes of play. We'll keep you up to date. Back with more from here, and Mickey York will keep you up to date on that game too in our studios.